From water deep to Icewind Dale, unlikely friends fight tooth and scale. A little faith, a lot of rage, to bring the summer back again. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Heroes, tortured and trapped within the mist, hunted by horrors from out the abyss. We've seen friends fall, but must endure, survive to see the sun once more. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Heroes.
We were having a very important conversation about cheese.
Oh, I missed that. I couldn't hear you. I'm so sad. I do like a bit of cheese.
A bit of cheese.
I also forgot how to count down from 5, it seems, so apologies for that. That's probably the reason why you were laughing at me. I've struggled to count 2, 1, 0.
Mid-cheese.
Mid-cheese. Oh, did
Not
I
talk about this anymore?
Did I derail the cheese? I'm really sorry. If you want to continue, we can. I can change it to a cheese stream.
No, it's fine. Cheese with a higher fat content. I feel like it also would have been better. I did it in a pan. I think it would have been better if I then finished it on a toaster.
What?
You know those lines. No.
No, you want organic. You want just put it on a fire. No, you put it in a pan. Put it in a pan. Put it in a pan. Toast quesadillas. Do people toast quesadillas? Am I missing something?
Never made one.
No, I've never made one either, but I'm not going to knock it till I've tried it.
There's cheese in it, so it can't be bad.
Oh, I can't hear you, Veronica.
It's delicious.
Is it just me that can't hear Veronica?
No, I couldn't hear her.
No, she's not making noise.
Maybe are you doing your mime act again? Because we've told you about that.
You were speaking and making noise.
If you start doing the rope thing.
She's gone. She's back.
Am I back?
Yes.
Yeah.
There is a delay on video to speech. So be careful, because we may talk over you accidentally, because we might think that we can't hear you, but we can, but there's a delay.
That sounds like an internet problem, so hopefully it fixes itself.
I love that you said hopefully it fixes itself while sticking your tongue out. That's a talent. Like no one else can do that. It's just like advanced ventriloquism.
Can you not talk like this?
No. Not that I've tried. Hello, welcome to Boda's Action Heroes Talks Cheese. Unfortunately, Tom can't join us. No, Tom can join us this week. It's Jim that can't join us this week. It's Jim's turn not to be here. Well, last week, what happened? Does anyone want to try and summarise? No.
Something horrible happened to Serdi, because he's got half his health left, and there's some scream mask thing and some goofy thing on him.
Yeah.
We went to see the Myconid colony, who were about half a day's march away. When we got there, we met with
Basidia, Sovereign Basidia.
Thank you. I'll never remember their name. And they were looking real bad. They told us that some flying things were attacking them, and then the flying things appeared, and we fought them.
A Varrock and the other thing that I can't remember the name of. Which yes, the thing that messed up
Eldith.
Yeah.
that makes Matt say proboscis like 500 times in a stream.
Proboscis. Yes, it's the monster with the proboscis.
We did that. Oh, Basidia died.
Well,
Yeah.
I can see that the near death, and I can see that there's a very stabby little myconid that stood there around all these people in pain, and so it does kind of look like Stool's gone nuts and just gone stabby on everything.
Yeah. So
That's
we got
better than what
further
actually
down.
happened.
Yeah. We got further down into the whole kind of thing, and then we found out that Nelfeshni had been using the myconids as a food source, and the Nelfeshni, we got a surprise round on it, so Serdi and Grim and Derendil ran in and the others threw attacks at it, but it got like one bite on Serdi and did
56 points
so
of
much damage. Yeah.
I think it was a crit, but it was still pretty harsh.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what those gorgeous boys look like.
He's attractive.
I think it's based off my physique.
It's some sort of wild boar fawn thing.
Yeah.
Mash up.
Yeah.
He's a looker.
Then we, once we dealt with that, rest of the myconids, and then Tink told Stool about Malice's passing. Stool's taking it in an interesting direction, but Tink's also trying to force Malice's soul into any dead thing that's lying around.
No. So we had a conversation where Tink thought, I don't want to lose Malice. I don't want to explode her. If Sovereign Basidia's dying, maybe I could put Malice in Basidia, and then Malice would be happy and could live with Stool. And then I got a heartburn, and very much the message that was not what Malice would like. So we're vetoing that now. But now we sort of settled that, and then we found and rescued Stool, and then Stool was like, "Why didn't you save her?" And here we go again.
Yeah, there was a bit of a debate around the morality of bringing people back and souls, and it was, yeah. And I think the conclusion was she's staying dead. And she still wants to be exploded.
Yep.
For some reason.
The soul's good for nothing other than blackmail and witchcraft, and not the good kind. So she's dead.
She dead. But that's why everyone's so injured, because you've got no cleric anymore. So I think you're just constantly drinking potions, spending all your money on potions now. Clerics are cheaper, I think.
Should we just explode Malice's soul now and kill off the last of the myconids? I just wanted to see Hazel's face.
Stop! I don't need the heartburn again.
You might be worse than heartburn if you talk about that.
Mm-hmm. She'll explode you.
Hazel's face when I suggested it, that's all.
I know.
How dare ye? How dare ye?
So that's where we'll pick it back up. There has been a bit of a discussion with the myconids, but yeah, it's about halfway through the day, I would say.
I thought we were
hang on
settling down for the night, because it was like halfway through the day when we left.
Here.
We were going to sleep over, go
and
back,
then get the banquet tomorrow. Yeah, well, that's fine if you want to stay in the new Everdark Below, as this is called. It's where the Neverlight myconids have settled about half a day outside of Gauntlgrym. The evening is yours, unless you wish to just skip till tomorrow. It's up to you.
This looks quite a nice place for them to settle down.
It's very much, they were cornered in here. Like, once that thing got here, they couldn't escape because there was no other route of escape. I think
But now
another.
that it's gone, it might be a nice place for them to settle.
What if another thing comes along?
Well, we can always train them to look after themselves.
That could happen anywhere in the Underdark.
Should we raise our concerns with Basidia? I did want to see how they were.
But you, Captain,
Waddle over to Basidia at some point.
Okay, they will make their way into the settlement, and you'll see that unlike... It's very similar to Neverlight Grove. It's probably, if anything, slightly bigger, but the difference is there appears to be only one entrance and exit here, whereas Neverlight had multiple, which is probably why they got trapped. Inside, it does appear to be the smaller myconids, a lot of the sprouts. You did see quite a number of myconids that had clearly been eaten outside of this area, or half eaten in most cases. But just like Neverlight, inside this cavern is natural. There is this beautiful iridescent light. You see little motes and spores of the mushrooms glowing, drifting through the air. And other than the gentle sound of trickling water and your own feet on the earth, it's silent.
Is Basidia still looking bad?
Basidia does look... He looks close to dropping, but seems to be putting on a... Well, it's hard to tell what the expression is because it's a mushroom, but just seems to be still going around, checking on other myconids, just generally supporting rather than being concerned about their own health.
I'll sort of signal at them to do the spaff thing.
Okay, there is a spaff of sort of dark spores engulfs you for a second. You feel the connection in your mind.
You are not looking good. Do you have some means of healing, or do you need a potion?
Time will heal me. We do not have potions.
You're just a bit... You were trapped here. Are you gonna stay here? What if something else comes along and you're not at your best?
We need to make more exits from this place. We will begin.
Oh.
But we do not have... And you'll see him kind of wave an arm in an emotion. We do not have softer tools.
We could potentially help with that. You're near a very large dwarven settlement. Dwergar settlement. Dwarven settlement?
Dwarven
Dwarven
settlement.
settlement.
We have not approached the softers.
Well, I don't know how the others feel about this, but as the sovereign of a large group of beings that are also just attempting to survive in the Underdark, would you like to come to a banquet tomorrow where the king is inviting interested parties across the Underdark to talk about this demonic incursion?
Yes.
Lovely. Glad we had this chat. We'll be setting off in the morning. Is that okay with you?
What is morning?
We'll be setting off in a few hours. Is that okay with you once we have rested?
This is acceptable.
Lovely. Anyone else for anything else? That was nice and straightforward. I like the way softers. Mike and his do business.
Captain, you know what they meant when they said they needed softer tools?
Mm.
I thought you're not offering the dwarves up as a solution to that problem. That's kind of what it sounded like you said.
I assumed you meant you needed pickaxes.
Softer tools. Do you remember when we were in Neverlight Grove?
Honestly, no.
The way that they had bodies and controlled them with the am I only one remembering this?
Well, I've never been, so
I had forgotten that. I meant more practical tools.
Well, I didn't. It sort of sounded like you were suggesting the dwarves as a.
I definitely wasn't
softer tool.
suggesting that. That would be
It's okay. Maybe we ought to make that clear.
absolutely mad thing to offer.
if they die of natural causes and they're willing,
This is something they could discuss as
Okay.
neighbours.
Maybe we had better make things clear to Basidia when we
Yeah,
go tomorrow morning.
yeah. Does anyone have like an axe or a pickaxe? Doesn't matter. Any weapon. We'll just use it.
a battle axe, but do they want tools or do they want weapons?
That's what I just to demonstrate.
Because then-
Basidia, did you mean this?
We must
Well,
make more exits from Everdark. Tunnels.
Yeah, but the tools you need.
Softer tools to make tunnels.
Like this, I point at battle axe.
Or like this, and I point to Drodin.
He points to the battle axe.
Okay.
I'm glad we cleared that all up.
I was very confusing for a minute.
How
How would we use a Drodin to make a tunnel?
He's very hard-headed.
It appears to me he would take 1 or 2 blows at most.
He's surprisingly firm in the head region.
We would prefer the shiny sticks.
Shiny.
Yeah, how are your people going to defend themselves if you're not here? How did you used to defend yourselves? Forgive me, but you seem...
There is a puff of spores. Can everyone give me a DC 12 Constitution saving throw, please?
Everyone within 10 feet of me, you get a +3.
Okay, Serdi, you're absolutely like seeing stars, tripping your mind off. You are absolutely, yeah. Serdi just kind of goes, whoa, just starts. It's like he's on some marvelous psychedelic trip.
Start trying to climb up Derendil, thinking it's a tree.
Although the others are not affected. This and others.
Do we know where those spores came from?
How do you mean where they came from?
So you said that there were spores.
Oh yeah,
Did they
just basically, and it seemed to be in response to the question, there's just this big puff from
Oh.
Basidia. Sorry, wasn't clear.
Just out of interest, has Stool's new skills with softer tools been useful in defending your people?
We have communed with Stool, and he has shared his experience of stabbing, as I believe you call it. We are all now very stabby.
Then I have full confidence in your ability to defend yourselves going forwards.
How have we ended up being a colonial power? How have we gone in to so many communities and just ruined them?
Tom's face.
Yeah.
I think your methods are much better. The sport stuff, but yeah, we can try and get you some softer tools of both the pickaxe and stabby variety.
We have seen the dangers.
Are you okay, Tom?
I think Grim will reach over and use 5 lay on hand healing points to clear the poison
Okay.
from Perla.
Oh, that's a heavy come down. Instantaneous.
Interesting. There was a hummingbird that was talking. I really need to sleep.
You told us your deepest, darkest secret. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, really, how dare you?
You're the most honourable person I know.
I did.
Hey,
What did I?
I've known him longer.
that's not what you said, though. I'm a damn right honourable person.
I am. I am.
Yeah, but the
didn't mean
things
to-
you've done.
I didn't. Well, I just a little lie. I mean, I didn't. It's not my fault. I got stuck down that hole. I had to make up something believable because it was so stupid. No one would believe it.
We get it. We've all had to survive.
I don't get it. You've got a lot of explaining to do.
Okay. I think I need to sleep. Ambrose.
Yeah, I must be I must be honest. I didn't even know kobolds had those kinds of places. I didn't know you could dance, Serdi.
I didn't.
But no
I
judgment.
didn't. No, it's just well, I don't know.
Go to sleep, Serdi. Don't worry.
Just see my eyes dim and I sit on the floor and that's it. I'm out. I'm just out where we are.
I didn't know Derendil could yes and.
He's
Neither-
finding his
neither did he.
personality. He's growing.
Neither did he. He's got to reinvent himself now. He knows he's not an elf.
He seems more the sort of person I would have expected to go, What are you talking about?
He didn't,
He didn't say anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe he's high as well.
Shall we go to sleep, or does anyone need to have any further conversation?
Nope.
Nope.
Sleepy time.
Okay, the night passes without incident. You may have a long rest
Oh
Woohoo.
my god.
and awake in the morning, whatever. It's still dark. It's always dark. What would you like to do with your day?
Am I still frightened for any reason, Matt? Is that last?
No.
Whatever. I've got that last.
You were frightened by the big demon that nearly bit you in half, I think.
Okay.
So that is.
Now you're frightened of our judgment.
Yes.
Yeah. Frightened of what I said.
Is there anything you want to do, or anywhere you want to go, or you just want to head back to Gauntlgrym?
Just head back to Gauntlgrym.
Okay.
We got meetings to make.
You do. It is an uneventful and quiet march back to Gauntlgrym. It does take around half a day, but it's easygoing. You approach the gates and are recognised instantly and are let inside. You have the run of the city, or we can just skip to the banquet. It's up to you.
We don't have to roleplay it, but I would say that we go through the lightness of taking Basidia to the king before the banquet and being like, "This is Basidia of the Myconids that live over there. They would like we think it would be beneficial to let them join the banquet tonight, etc."
Very good. And Bruno is, as you've come to expect, relatively welcoming of everybody, and as you've vouched for Basidia, is quite happy to give them a place in the city until the banquet. He is rather confused by the spores and the strange way of communicating, but yeah, Basidia is shown to some accommodation. A nice dark, dank room that's probably not really suitable for anyone else, but for a Myconid it's pretty perfect. Moist.
Did anyone need to, well, do anything? I'm specifically thinking shopping. Did anyone need to get potions? I remember someone mentioning that.
I still have one potion.
I've still got mine. Because we went shopping before we headed off, didn't we? So
I've misremembered. Then we are good. We are good to feast.
Okay.
We are good to feast.
Okay. You are good to feast. There is in other cities in the Underdark, when there's been these kind of feasts, you've noticed a lot more activity. Guards, people rushing around with food, just a general hustle and bustle of a busy city. Gauntlgrym, although still busy as normal, does not feel any different. It is not. There's no people talking about the banquet. It seems that this banquet is largely a secret and is not one that the general populace knows about. So you prepare yourselves. I mean, are you just wearing what you're wearing? Have you any intention of getting changed, or what's?
Have we been given a dress code?
No, you haven't. I just thought I would check.
I don't. But I might say, yeah.
I'll wash my beard.
Fancy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How many times is that now in this lifetime?
Oh, I think he does it quite regularly, but it's for like special occasion. It's for court appearances, and by court I don't mean criminal in front of a jury. I mean, you know, he goes to say hi to his cousin, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I imagine your
So
beard's extra sparkly white now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll get someone to prestidigitate my clothes. Or, you know, we're in a city now. Maybe someone will actually wash them.
Make sure
You can get them washed.
all the moss on me is in the same direction.
Lovely.
I don't see I understand the, well, you're best versed in this, Grim. I understand why you would dress up things. And I would be inclined to, except these are important people and we are nobodies. And if we show up not looking like the, frankly, bunch of ragtag runaways that we are, maybe we would have a little less legitimacy to our stories. I think just be ourselves.
I would say that you're probably more important to these people than you give yourself credit for. You're heroes of multiple cities. You're representative of multiple communities, and it's good for the leadership of any place, any people, to hear representation from those different communities. So don't downplay your importance.
No.
But also,
Shit.
what was that?
You're the captain of a ship, which is sort of like being the king of your own little kingdom.
You're a hero of Gracklestug.
And Blingdenstone.
And
Mm.
advisor to the Linden vein.
What I'm hearing is buy a new frock coat and get a bigger hat.
Well, the hat will help you claim some status, but also we all need to feel comfortable talking to these people. So if you're comfortable in your own clothes, wear your own clothes. If you feel that you might be judged and you'll feel more comfortable in a fancy frock, get yourself a fancy frock. But don't be anything other than yourself.
I have an idea. I assume it's quite easy to go shopping in Gauntlgrym.
Yeah. There's a large
Well,
market.
I wasn't going to indulge in the do we dress up for a party thing, but hey, I had a whole speech about how I'm a hero, so I want to go
Biggest hat possible.
biggest hat possible,
Mm,
and I want to really lean into creepy porcelain Victorian doll.
Okay, like it. A bit more lace and such.
Mm-hmm.
Liking it. So describe it for us. What's
I'm
it
just
look like?
imagining it's what I was probably dressed like when I was first made, created, born, whatever it is, where I was made to look probably quite like a doll. I was based on an actual doll, so really
Yeah.
quite girly. And to be honest, that's what I was wearing when I came down into the Underdark, and I've just slowly sort of added waistcoats and pockets. So she doesn't look hugely different, to be fair. It's just that it's clean and you can see the lace, and it's just quite surprisingly girly.
Flash of pink.
Mm.
Very nice. And Grim, your beard is pristine.
Tip top.
What
Are
I
you a
think I might
braider
also-
or sorry?
Yeah. So braiding for like defense purposes. So there's thick braids down the side of his neck to protect his jugular, so on and so forth. But like there's the bushy beard, and then there's braiding and beads and like metal ringlets within it, all representing different aspects of his life and his career. I think he will buy himself a shoehorn, because I think he's starting to really struggle to get his shoes on and off, and it just makes things easier. So he's gonna get one of the really long ones, so he doesn't have to bend down too much, and that's going to be his little treat to himself for what he's been through the last few days.
I mean, it is a dwarven city, so you could probably get it made out of a fine metal or
He doesn't need a fine metal. He just
titanium,
needs
wood.
something
what do
he
you
can
want?
shove in his shoe.
Shove in his shoe. No, well, I mean, what you might find quite shocking is because this isn't Gracklstugh, that they seem to decorate. You can't find a shoehorn without any decoration on it, which is seen as pretty pointless in Gauntlgrym, Gracklstugh. But in Gauntlgrym, it's just there isn't anything without decoration. It's so strange. Hopefully, it doesn't put you off.
I will buy a decorated shoehorn and a file. And over time, I will undecorate the shoehorn.
You'll return it to its just pure plain design.
Yeah, but then he might add his own designs. But at the moment, he just needs a freaking shoehorn.
The designs aren't hindering its purpose.
No, but they don't add anything to its purpose either. So I thought if I clear this bit, and then I can put my name and address on it, and if I lose it, someone can return it to me.
That definitely adds to its purpose. I understand. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Why? I don't know why I argued.
And if I clear this other bit, I can write instructions on how to use it, because, you know, your old noggin, it doesn't last forever. And I might just need a bit of a reminder, and I'm self-aware enough to know that.
Do you think your cousin will be at this?
Maybe. Probably not. He might send someone, though. Probably another cousin. There's enough of them.
Or he's just assumed that you are the representative.
Don't think he knows I'm here.
When you say cousin, you mean the king of Gracklstugh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So we use the term cousin quite loosely.
Well, I think it's. I think it'll be marvellous. This will be the first feast we've had since Nelrindervain, and we had that in a bedroom, if you remember. So in a hallway, this will be a proper table and wine, mead, ale, whatever you want. And I do hear that dwarves really know how to throw a feast. So, although they don't do a lot of salad from what I've heard, so just prepare yourselves if you're fancying a bit of salad. You may be disappointed. If you want a pig roast, then I think you're in for a treat. Can you tell
I'm just
not enjoyed the mushrooms for breakfast this morning?
smiling, enjoying the realization that Derendil's about to be in his element.
So yeah, you all make your preparations, be that clothing or just washing bits of yourself, or in Serdy's case, combing all of your moss so that it's all going in the same direction, and you make your way to the feast hall. It is a vast and sprawling city, but it is in a dwarven way. It's got its charm and beauty, but it is quite grand and towering in places. And as you make your way to the Vault of the Kings, you march through a huge chamber, and the history of the place must go back thousands of years, because there are literally statue after statue after statue of dwarven kings and queens. It is absolutely huge. And as you come to the end of this huge chamber, again, you see quite a large array of guards and a gateway into a feasting hall within. But rather than the sound of
No, I feel like I'm interrupting you describing the scene. I'm just really excited to play Do I Recognise What These Banners Represent?
That's why they're in there. We'll give points.
I recognise two.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably recognise 3 of these, but Some of them I wouldn't have if I wasn't running this. But yeah, as you approach the banquet hall, there isn't this like roaring of voices and laughter and glasses and plates. It is quite a quiet room. As you come to the doorway, you look in. The first thing you will all notice on the far end of the room is this huge mechanical. At first you think maybe it's a giant in armor, but you realize then that it's some kind of mechanical magical creature. It is bigger than Derendil, maybe 10-11 foot tall, and it is just stood absolutely motionless at the far end of the room. Within the room there are only half a dozen people. It is not particularly busy. You just do see King Bruno, and amongst with them you see he's kind of wandering around, talking to people, smiling. Seems to be kind of holding the space until you arrive. You see a young woman, human, dark eyes, short black hair, wearing leather armor. She's just sat with a glass of wine. She's playing with a stiletto knife, which she's sort of digging into the wooden table. She's quite beautiful but sullen looking. You see an elderly knight, fighter, maybe a paladin, it's hard to say. Short cropped white beard, white hair, scars on his face and body, and medals all over his armor. Clearly quite elderly, but still an imposing figure. You also see a younger, relatively handsome man with a big scar across his cheek. Dark hair, black beard. He's wearing a rather fine frock coat, and you can see he has a lot of scrolls and books around him on the table. There is also a dwarf. She has red hair, plaited, a bit like you saw with Eldith when you first met her. Again, wearing plate armor, but half plate, not full plate, with fur trim around her shoulders, and tattoos on her forehead. And she is drinking, laughing, eating, and just genuinely seems to be enjoying herself. And who else is that? And then lastly is a hard to explain really, but they have a shaven head. Their skin is quite grey. You are not sure if they are. You're not sure if they're male or female. The clothing is very doesn't give anything away. You suspect female, but you can't be sure. But their clothing, although it is not very shape hugging, it is very fine. Anyone with any, you've been shopping for some hats and things today, you know that it's the finest silks and the finest fabrics. So whoever they are, it seems that they have money. And Bruno will see you. Oi, friends, come in. Welcome. The feast has already begun. We're sorry we did not wait for you, but if you would come in, my guests would very much like to speak to you. If you would like me to do introductions, then I can.
I don't know. Does anyone else want to play this game?
You do see the banners. They are
You're the
about
captain.
the room. Go for it.
Do you recognise where any of these people are from, Captain?
I'm from Waterdeep, so I think I would recognise the Order of the Silver Gauntlet.
Indeed.
It's less likely Tink would recognise, but as a previous Harper, I recognise the Harpers.
Yes. Correct.
And then I'm assuming Zentrim, Emerald Enclave. Don't know who the red banner is.
Well, that's 4 out of 5. That's pretty good going. I mean, as you enter, they all turn and look at you and glance. You can see that they are, every one of them is looking you all up and down. And you sense that they're kind of measuring you, trying to figure out what you're about, how strong you are. A couple of them look a little bit surprised at how tiny some of you are. But they don't say anything. Some dwarves will walk over and pour you some drinks. There's a choice of wine, ale, or mead. Or if you prefer this, there is some spirits. Who would you like to talk to?
The one right in front of us. Let's go with the one I don't recognize.
Okay. So
Hello,
this,
I'm Captain Tink.
I'm sure you are captain of the... Well, I've heard of this ship.
Oh gods, no.
Ah. I am Lord Aravian. Pleasure. You may have heard of my family, Horned. Aravian Horned. No?
Would I? Don't know, maybe.
You probably haven't, no. I am representing the Lord's Alliance.
Oh, that's them.
Sorry?
How many lords in your alliance?
Well, Lords of Faerun, there are countless lords from Waterdeep, even as far north as Icewind Dale. There are lords. We are those in power, those who rule, and of course, with that responsibility of rulership comes the challenges of maintaining order and peace.
It's a funny name. Do you not have any ladies in your alliance?
Of course. I take your point. I suspect that...
I assume it's a very old organisation.
Oh, incredibly old, yes. As old as my family, I'm sure. I can assure you we don't discriminate.
Good, because we are a very eclectic group.
I can very much see that. King Bruno tells me that you've faced many horrors.
Many.
And may I
yesterday evening.
say, you must be incredibly powerful adventurers to have faced these horrors. With respect, your appearance is not... It's mildly terrifying, but not extremely terrifying. You're clearly more dangerous than you appear.
Oh, I almost feel like you're baiting.
Oh, the captain hasn't shown you her angry face. That is terrifying.
Really?
I wouldn't have.
It's been known to send demons screaming from her.
Well, these are the stories I'm here to hear. So please, regale me with your adventures. I learned long ago not to judge any creature by its size. And you are diminutive, but you have an aura of power about you. I can feel it. And are you an elemental friend? I don't know what's the proper term for your kind. And you have a grey dwarf from the Underdark as well. How rare and wonderful to meet you all.
So a Quaggoth and Myconid.
Oh. Wow, yes, you are
And a drow.
Yep. Befriended a drow. That's impressive.
Do not
Sam
be
bros.
alarmed, though. The drow will not harm you.
Well, I'm very well aware of that there are such thing as a good drow. I've heard all the tales of Brunor's good friend.
Well, Drodin isn't as famous as Brunor's friend, apparently, but
Well, if the stories that Bruno has told me are true, maybe you all will all be famous someday, and I would very much like to be allied with famous adventurers of high talent and skill, and high renown, of course. But I'm yet to hear the stories from your own lips.
So Bruno hasn't told you anything about us. Just that we have faced some demons.
He
And
claims that you have seen demon lords,
princes,
plural. May I say,
Well-
madam, is this a term that you like? Your skin is like porcelain. It's remarkable. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Stories, please.
I will, I feel, illustrate my friend's earlier point. Maybe after we've... It doesn't feel appropriate. Dinner table talk.
Certainly, some of the things we've seen would turn one's stomach.
But if Bruno's not told you all about us, and I'm sure we don't want to repeat ourselves 5 times. If I might, I will sort of fly up above both tables and do a very loud "Kim!"
Everyone will turn and look at you.
Not wanting to repeat ourselves 5 times, nor waste time, as the reason we are all here is actually a matter of life and death. Perhaps it's easier to do introductions this way. I am Captain Tink. This is Gauntlgrym, Wargrace.
Yes.
Serdi or Pala, which would you prefer for
Parla, Serdi, we're both.
Pala?
Either's fine.
Either is fine. Drodin. I've forgotten everyone's names. Sovereign Basidia, I remembered their name this. Derendil.
Hello.
Drodin, don't know your last name, but it might resonate with some
Drodin
people.
would also go, hello.
Lauren.
TLDR. We were all captured by drow. Some of us escaped, some of us did not. We have lost many friends along the way from our journey from Menso-Baranzan to here today. On that journey, we have encountered some demon lords. First at... Oh, this is such a test of memory. Sloobly-Doop. We're there as far as I'm still aware, their village was absolutely demolished. We did not fight in that incursion. We were simply lucky enough to get away. Then again, at Gauntlgrym,
There was
Gauntlgrym?
the
Gracklesug.
Yes.
I like to think I deliver this with more authority than this. You know, the way I started, not as I'm going on.
They are listening. They are listening. You do see the dark-haired girl with the dagger. She appears to be just looking at her drink and scratching the table with a stiletto. She can hear you, but whether she's listening, it's hard to know. But everyone else is paying you 100% attention.
In the interest of expediency, can I say that I explain all of the things that we have been through?
Sure.
Quite concisely, like I'm doing, like, this place, this monster. We fought it, or we scared it off, or we ran away.
Giant screw heads, champion of Orcus. This happened here, that kind of
Pudding King.
Pudding King.
You definitely see
spooky
some
thing that I can't remember the name of, no matter how many times we meet it. Your club, your luck,
Yockle.
Yaklol.
your cult. Yeah.
Yakult, yeah. Good for your gut biome. There will generally be like interest and raised eyebrows and muttering between one another as you explain some of the incredibly powerful beings that you've experienced and survived.
To surmise, I've been told earlier today that we are perhaps heroes, adventurers. I would say that we are lucky and somewhat competent. Why we are here is because we have experienced these things and we have valuable knowledge for you, people with much more power and forces to wield against these threats.
The old knight with the grey beard and hair will be like, so you're telling me you would very much like for what would you want to know? Are you asking of us?
I will interpret old man speak to Captain Tink. He wants to know what you want from him. It's well.
Reminds
I ever
me
get like
of
that,
a campaign
see me go.
many years ago. We were having a bit of a trouble with
We fought them on
cattle.
battlefields.
Yep.
We fought them in the sea.
Huge
Yep.
dragons everywhere. And,
Well, to answer your question, I'll cut him off.
yeah,
I think what we need is a plan, and you are greater tactical minds than we are, and forces to wield against these demon lords, because 5 or so ragtag adventurers is not going to keep cutting it, keep coming through.
I mean, the most important thing is that you're all here and to hear what we have to say and what we're warning you of. I suppose, if nothing else, there's that. But this is a threat to everyone, not just the Underdark and those connected to it directly.
well, I'll say that by tier, I'll fully have my measure, and I can offer maybe.
Would we be able to get that in writing?
Oh yes, yes.
Idea.
I've a crack unit of veterans. They've fought in campaigns from everywhere, from the High Forest, Dale, and yes.
That sounds exactly what we're looking for. Thank you so much.
Order of the Gauntlet, of course, looks for and what would we do?
I feel like that part of the plan is absolutely in good hands with what was your name?
Oh, this Land of Australia.
Is going to handle that side of the plan brilliantly, but I think we also need to follow up on the small bit of intel that we have that this is originating potentially from. I need you guys' help because I stopped taking notes.
Menzeberans and we believe that a maid called Gauntlgrym is acting on behalf of, well, Loth. Our running theory is that, and this is Drodin's theory, so apologies for speaking for you, Drodin. He's the cleverest of us, I think. But he seems to have deduced that Loth is wishing more space in the abyss to take over the territories of the other demon princes, and has displaced them here in what they think is a territory gain, but they're really some internecine war in the abyss. But nonetheless, the Underdark is falling victim, and the surface will follow, I'm sure. We think if we find, I mean, for us, on our part, we hear of a rival to this Gauntlgrym, another Menzeberans and mage in exile called endeavour. We intended to seek their aid in displacing Gauntlgrym, but in the meantime, we cannot hope to hold the safety of the surface and Gauntlgrym and the other cities, well, within the Underdark that will still stand without everyone's assistance.
You see the long dark hair, beard, young guy with the scar on his cheek. So this is what do you say? I'm Lord Zelron Roaringhorn. It is a pleasure to meet you all. My accent is wandering all over. It's what I do. I've traveled the world. I've seen many places. I am a free spirit. I believe in freedom and justice and all of these things. And I am, of course, a lord of Waterdeep. I am sure you have heard of me. Everyone has heard of me.
Who hasn't heard of Lord Zelron Rumpelhorn?
Precisely, my friend. Have a drink, please. I'm very concerned with this. It is not unknown for the Underdark minions to come through the floors and into the Waterdeep city. If you've been, you will have seen this. And so it is very key that we stop this and send these vile creatures back to where they came from. And it seems that you are the people that know how to do this. This fine contraption, do you see? From the Temple of Gond in Waterdeep itself. A shield guardian. Have you heard of such a thing? This is mine. I've worked with the priests of Gond for many months and I make this. And I would, for the right party, offer it to you, perhaps, for your use in the battles to come. If you can convince me that you are indeed the heroes that all of the tales you tell are indicating. Anyone can tell a tale.
No, but we tell a true one. And you shouldn't go questioning my captain. And with that, have I got it prepared? Yeah, it's always prepared. Why not? Just to stop anyone questioning anything. Zone of truth.
Zone of truth. Is there any warning or?
I'll do that, and just to make sure no one questions her, so I won't stand for it, and then explain that I'll do this spell. They can make a DC 14 charisma saving throw.
Okay.
I'll be open and honest about it. Under the expectation that they will all willingly take part.
Okay. No one resists except for the dark-haired woman. And Sir Lanifer Strail will be like, oh, I know this one very well. Yes. Integrity. Integrity. I approve. Reminds me actually of a very long mission that we had once in the jungles of Chult. If you've ever been there, they have these huge lizards everywhere. And Bruno will be like, oh, if you could save that one for later, Sir Lanival, if that's all right. Please, continue.
Grim, this
At
might
least
not
we
have
know
been the
that's
best
true.
idea.
We've got 10 minutes. Just tell them what happened in such and such a place, blah, 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 whatever we need to do.
Ugh. Does anyone here know this person we're looking for, whose name I still can't remember?
Grom. I was
No, the other one,
happened.
the one that is their rival in exile.
Drodin will say
The friend of
Vizeran
Drodin.
Devere,
Vizeran Devere.
There's a lot of V's in it.
but he is not a very nice person, Drodin will say. Not a very nice person indeed, but yes, the enemy of our enemy and all that.
He's
How
a
eloquent,
wanted
Drodin.
ally.
Or does anyone know where we might find them? Is Drodin right? Is this an absolutely terrible idea to try Vizeran?
Drodin will say, well, you know that I've been searching for Graven Hollow for many years of my life. And although I hope it's not a myth, I think it may have all the answers we need. Bruno will say, oh, well, funny you should say that. I heard tell that there is in the outpost of Manteldereth the Gauntlgrym, and he will give a sideways glance at this dark-haired woman. Someone there has a key or a means to find Graven Hollow. You can ask all sorts of questions there. Indeed, I've been there myself. It is real.
I assume Drodin starts freaking out.
Yeah, as much as Drode is able to, yeah. You probably can't see it on the surface, but inside.
I know. Well, that would certainly be helpful. A shield guardian would be helpful. Forces to help protect the cities down here whilst we attempt to get to the source of the issue would be helpful. What else could you offer that could help the people of the Underdark, or indeed us, attempt to stop this incursion?
You see Lord Roaringhorn again will be like, I think we need to banish. I'm a practitioner of all of the finest magical arts, and we should banish these things back to the abyss. And for that you need great magic. Great magic. Perhaps this mythical library is the source of that. Or indeed a drow wizard, but drow wizards...
These both seem very difficult to get a hold of. I'm we'll happily go with whatever we come across first. It seems the only shore lead we now have is to Graven Hollow, surprisingly.
We should try and still find the Society of Brilliance
Hmm.
to complete the weapon we know of against the demon lords.
Yes, does anyone here know where they are, or know how to get in contact with them?
Oh, well, it's funny you should say that. That I did send out feelers. Not the right word for mind flayers, that is it? I believe they may be sending a representative who should be here this evening.
That would be helpful.
So you'll see the dark-haired woman. She's still just drinking her drink. She's looking up and watching, but she's not making eye contact. She is generally just messing with this stiletto. She will look up and speak. Why should we give you this access to our trading post? I don't see the point. You don't offer us anything. We are expected to believe that this little fairy and this rock kobold have fought demon lords? Please. Is this stone of truth real? Did you resist?
Only you did.
Did we have a bag of holding? I think we do, don't we? Because I'm a small
do. I
person
think
and I
you've
think
got
I was
two.
carrying, yeah.
I think
Can
you've
we
got several.
retroactively say that we cut off the head of the fliflifnifs?
The what?
The piggy guy that we met yesterday.
Oh, now Feshti.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's what we call them.
And stuffed it in the bag of holding.
Sure.
Much appreciated. I did mention that last stream, I think. I said, this is good evidence to bring.
Yeah.
But I didn't follow that up in this session.
We have done some digging on you people, and we have. I don't think any of you are anyone of renown. The dwarf has a long history of. Well, he has served for hundreds of years. But you, Faye, there's no record of you. There is no record of this stone kobold.
Well, as I said, whatever titles you may want to bestow upon us of renown, do what you will, but
do
I
not
think
get me wrong, my friend. You have no renown. Zero.
this is what I'm saying. I agree with you. We are nobody. We are people who stumbled into this terrifying and terrible situation and somehow survived. Probably a lot of it is luck. A lot of it is being able to work well as a team. A lot of it is maybe good leadership. But the point is, we survived somehow, and so are gaining, if this is what's important to you, renown. And if evidence, hard evidence, is what you truly require, if I may, I'll gesture to a bag of holding, my bag.
Please.
I really, really hope that on the table where we see a turkey, a hog with a, like one of those hogs with a apple stuffed in proper hog roast kind of thing, and then I get out, and I'm probably too weak to do this, so I start to pull out a head and then just end up rolling it out onto the table, the head of this other pig-like.
You just hear Solaniver be like, huge pig head! And he will stand up and look with his hands out like, oh. And you see Davra. She's like, "Oh, my name is Davra, by the way."
It's a pleasure to meet you. I mean, this
So you-
thing
So you killed this?
we did, but this is not the lord that we've. One of the demon lords. I do not know how to prove to you that we have seen what we've seen. It's our companion here is sovereign of some free micronits that were displaced by an invasion of the demon prince.
You
Zook
okay?
boy.
Boy,
I remembered it!
into Neverlight Grove, and they can
Yes.
attest for the truth of our story, at least that insofar as Neverlight Grove. The king of Gracklstew could confirm the story of the Seraph.
The king of Grackle Stug, the city where you see Davro, but sort of like kind of almost look a little bit sneering. The city where haggling is illegal. Yeah, this.
Yes, because they do not like dishonesty. So
We're a good and honest people. We have rules. We follow them.
kindness is maybe not their best point, but they are truthful.
I tend to think the world would have less problems if people did not follow rules blindly. It's important to question.
I
do
would
not-
ask,
Hmm.
just to support what my friends just said, I would ask Basidio if they would mind coming forward to just
Spath.
do the spore thing and support our statement.
So he will lumber forward. He's huge. He's big as Derendil. A few of the people are in awe of this strange creature. Those that have been in the Underdark, probably Davra, especially Bruno, are not surprised, as surprised by these things. But all of those from the surface are quite taken aback. And he will. The spores will surge across the room, and you'll feel your minds connect telepathically. And you will hear one of the voices. Oh, that's weird. That's a proper weird thing, that. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, everyone can hear everyone.
That's brilliant, that is.
I just realised this is... Sorry, hello. Nice to
Hello.
meet you.
Do I still have an
I'll-
accent in here? I do. Oh. That's weird.
I forgot that one of the abilities of these wondrous spores is that we can show you images what we are thinking. So I'll let Basidia say their piece and then just think about all of the demon lords we've battled and try to share those images with everybody.
Yeah, Basidia will lumber forward with the connection in the mind, and he will show a mental image of Neverlight Grove before Zuchtmoy. The peaceful, beautiful, serene. You see the sort of sped up time of each day then working, and then communing, and then resting, and then working, then communing and resting. But the way he shows doesn't appear monotonous or tedious. It's beautiful and natural and simple, and all of those things. And then you will get peaks of those other Myconids that you met that were, their minds were becoming twisted, and they were starting to build things, and they were starting to have strange ideas that Myconids had never had. And then he shows them the Garden of Welcome. And that's where his vision ends, because he only saw it from outside. I think only you all saw that.
Oh, can I help feed into that vision? Can I, like, project in my head what was in the garden?
What do you show them?
Those poor unfortunate drow that were...
Pustulant and buried up to their necks.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then deeper in, the tree.
Yeah, inside
all of the...
Igmorgus, the great
Yeah.
mushroom. Yeah, you show them the image of a sleeping Zuktmoy, this huge kind of decayed fungal creature, huge, towering within the heart of this massive mushroom. About her, these strange bridesmaids, strange wispy Myconids that have been twisted and changed into something else. If you remember, they weirdly can sort of teleport around and disappear and reappear. Do you show them the battle, or?
Maybe a bit of it, but I think there's so much to get across to them. In my head, would like to visualize the greatest hits.
The greatest hits, which are?
Which are the Pudding King. Guys, help me out again.
Succubus and Gauntlgrym. Zuktmoy. Demogorgon.
Demogorgon's the good one. Show them a proper kaiju, that'll get them.
Yeah, it's indisputable. You do hear that voice again. Oh, that's proper weird, that. Oh, that's gross. I wouldn't want to meet that on a dark night. Or a bright one, to be honest. That's pretty bad. And then you will hear Davra like, yeah, I get it. You have seen these things. I believe you now. Went a bit Borat there.
I don't know if this is enough proof for everyone, and I probably looked at Davra. What more evidence, if any, do you require?
What do you want?
That this...
What do you expect the Zhentarim to do for you?
Well, it sounds like you have access to Ravenhollow.
Well, we have access to Mantle Derith. There is someone there who may know how to get you there, if that's what you want. But what's in it for us?
Unless you're going to have a go, and you are more than welcome to, we will try to stop the demon incursion, which will inevitably, after ruining the entirety of the Underdark, proceed to the surface. And your people.
So you're saying it will wipe out Mantle Derith and then here as well?
If we do nothing about it.
I have extensive network of information, shall we say?
Perhaps then not just Mantle Derith. If we need to get back into Mensa Baranzan, that will be a very difficult task for us. We are, as I told you at the beginning of my story, wanted.
we'll see Sir Laniver Strail, the elderly knight, will stand and go, "Men's of Ranson? Well, no. You're going there."
It
Sorry,
feels
too much
like it may be
smoking.
inevitable.
Well, I'm not sure about men's and Ranson. Got a very tickly throat now. Excuse me a moment.
I'll talk over you for
Oh.
a bit. The problem is all the ways I would talk over you with your NP.
Well, well, there was a time in Icewind Dale where we had a big problem with Yetis, and can't remember what I was talking about. Why are we talking about Yetis?
Well, what we can talk about is the support that we will need going forward. And if Grim can't think of anything, he's just trying to let the captain laugh
I think
until...
that is an excellent story demonstrating how much the order of the Gauntlet Wheel, and gives me confidence that we can triumph against this threat. Thank you.
I've already said, Order of Schools will provide a number of veterans to accompany your venture, and there's Warhammer as well. Yeah. Warhammer.
We appreciate your hospitality. What of the Lord's Alliance of the Emerald?
Yeah. The Lord's Alliance, yeah, Sir Aravian, Lord Aravian Horned. I am convinced by your very interesting presentation directly into our minds. That's a first. Interesting. I believe everything you've said. There's no doubt in my mind that if we don't deal with this, then the consequences for all of Faerun are catastrophic. So I would offer, well, everything at our disposal. I mean, the worst thing about this is the halting of trade, and that's people's livelihoods. That's work. That's the important things in life. Trade. And if people
this
can't,
is getting a bit triggering, Matt.
well, if people can't work, they can't eat, and if they can't eat, they get unruly, and then you have civil war, and so we need to look after everybody.
You make very good points. We're here to kill shit.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I can offer you. I have a number of information gatherers, as we call them. You're welcome to have access to. I do have 5 dwarven guards that are with me, and they are very fine. I would offer you those as well. As well as some financial bonuses, should you succeed. Of course, we very much believe in recognizing the heroes of the realm that save people from peril and keep order and maintain integrity and honesty in the face of danger, which it appears from the visions you've shown me you represent. So yes,
Absolutely, we do.
We offer you. I can offer you fighting men. I can offer you information gatherers, scouts, if you will, spies. I pledge these. I have the authority to do so.
Thank you very much. gonna turn to my friends and under my breath say, "What information do we need gathering?"
How to get into Graven Hollow? Any other signs of any other demons,
Secret way.
devil incursions?
Secret ways into Mensa Branson. And the location in Mensa Branson of Gromph.
Can we get them to work right away on these things?
You, Davro will say you want Graven Hollow.
Hmm.
I have a contact who has the way to this place.
And use of the key you have?
It is untold, there is. No secret. Well, it is a big secret, and this is where little bit troubled. But I have my entourage. I would send them with you if you want to go to Gauntlgrym.
Sounds like the next step of our journey.
Good.
If you want Graven Hollow, you must go to this place. It's the only place I know of anyone who has been to Graven Hollow except for King Bruno. Bruno will be like, "Oh, well, I've got no idea how to get back there." It's kind of a fluke. It kind of appeared when I needed it, not because I was looking for it.
We have a key of our own. I don't know what to call it. I think we'll be able to find it once we're in the right place.
Yeah, you want to talk to... There is someone in Gauntlgrym who will know how to get there.
Wonderful.
But you will have
We
to
appreciate
convince
your
them.
help too. Oh,
Well,
good. And what does it take to convince them? Money or the threat of annihilation of Faerun?
I think it's... I can offer you this thing, but I think I would need a share of the treasure that you find on this endeavour. 20%.
When you say endeavour, do you mean just the journey to Graven Hollow, or do you whatever we
These
find?
20% is... we all know in adventures and peril there is treasure.
Hmm.
If the
I'll be
Zentium
honest
could
with
give
you.
you access, surely we deserve recompense.
Percentage of which part of our adventuring, not into perpetuity, Jordan?
Well, what do you offer? What do you offer?
At this time, I don't know what treasure we will come across. To be perfectly honest. But by the sounds of it, if we manage to triumph and, defeat these huge forces of evil, then alongside the prize surviving, it sounds like Lord Fliff is willing to pay us for helping. So maybe we can say some of whatever payout. You may as well just do this deal between one. Do is save lives.
I'm talking treasure. I'm talking magic items. I'm talking gold, jewels. You know all the things you find on adventures.
How about we just pay your people what they're worth, and then we'll put a prize on top of it if they're actually any use outside of just getting us there.
Okay, I tell you what, just 20% of whatever you find on your way to Mantle Dereth. Between
Fine.
there
Way.
and here, 20%.
Fine. I don't know necessarily how we're going to divvy that up, but unless it's something literally save our life, and under my breath, yours, then as far as I'm concerned, they can.
Your friend here can do the zone of truth, and yeah, we shall do that. And I'll have a message sent. You can deliver the treasure to Mantle Dereth if you go. If you don't, it's not a problem.
Oh no, I think after this fine feast, thank you, King Bruno, our first step of this plan will be to head to Mantle Dereth. It sounds like the next logical thing to do. Any forces that Lord, you know, that one, that he can muster, we can divvy up between
talking about me?
Yes. Oh, zone of truth. I told you, Grim.
It only lasts 10 minutes. It was over a long time ago.
Divvy them up so that they're in strategic points across the Underdark in case there are any other demonic incursions, and they can be there to aid. Apparently we're getting a shield guardian to help us. So that'll be nice. It'll take some of the hits by the looks of it.
Lord Roaring Horn will allow us.
Yeah, Lord Roaring Horn. It's a great thing that I have made. It's such a powerful being. It's not sentient, but it's wonderful. It will serve you well. You'll see the dwarf, the female dwarf, who's sort of sat. You've only really heard her in your head. She will be like, "Hello,
Hello, dear.
hello, how are you?"
Trying really hard not to reply in that accent.
I know it's quite hard. Look, I'm Emerald Enclave. It's no secret, and this is my home, Gauntlgrym, where I live and breathe, and my family are, and all of my friends, and this is where I work from. I believe everything you've said, mainly because of magic, but I'm trying to think what we could offer, and I think obviously I can offer scouts. That's what we do. But I would be willing to offer you all some of my finest riding lizards if you want them for getting about quick, you know. They're very quick. They can go on walls and ceilings, and they don't really get held back by much.
We are great lovers of adopting new creatures into our ever-growing, ever-eclectic family. I think we would all love a riding lizard.
A racing lizard.
Right. Oh, you can race
We
them. They're quite
definitely-
quick.
Okay, it is okay to race them. We're definitely going to be doing that.
Right, very good. Well, I've only got 3 scouts that I can lend here, but they're very skilled, and they will be able to scout ahead and get a lay of the land and tell you what's there, so you can decide where to go and what to do. You know, all of that good stuff. But I have had a few scouts go missing in the Underdark, so maybe we can talk about that later when there's none of this lot about, you know?
We use the get to Mantle Dereth. Oh, unless there's a teleportation circle. Much quicker.
No, I don't think so. Not to there.
Fair
You
enough.
just see Davra be like, as if.
And then, depending on what our next step is going to be, get back to Menzo Baranzan, the very place we were escaping, then we could potentially use your scouts to help us with that.
Yes, in general, a way into Menzo Baranzan would be good intelligence.
You really want to go into Mensa Paranza?
No, we do not. We have. I feel like we've made this point, but I feel like we may have to if we want to cut out the root of the problem.
And you
Right.
also,
What's the end goal here? What are you trying to do? You know, what's the thing that you want to achieve? I hear mental death. I hear
Banished
Graven
them.
Hollow. I hear Menzo Baranzan. Which one are you going for, and why?
Well, we want to banish these demons back to the abyss.
Right.
Demon lords that have been brought into this realm by Grumph Benry.
And that's why you want the magic library thing.
Find. Damn it. Find Vizerin Devere
Right. He's a
and learn how
drow.
to banish the demons. Vizerin Devere is a drow, a rival of Grumph Benry.
Right. I get it. I
We
get
think
it.
will help us defeat, because the posturing, you know what we understand of these drow, they're playing for power all the time, and if he can be convinced to depose Grumph, then perhaps he can end his scheme and banish the demons back to the abyss.
Right. Well, that I can support, but I won't be sending my people into Mensa Baranzan. Sorry.
No, I'm not into Menzo Branson, I understand, but if there is a way to scout a secret way in for us to use without having to go in themselves would be helpful. Or even the other thing we could use knowing, I mean, we're looking for it in the library, but if there is any other way of finding us intelligence on how to banish these things, I am assuming that the places you all come from on the surface have libraries of their own. I don't know, but or wise people that could help.
Powerful mages that aren't more. That are just more trustworthy.
Aye, well, I don't. Bruno will be like, "Oh well, I'm afraid that we're not the best when it comes to magic, the dwarves, but we do have some, but it's not within our expertise, sadly." So it sounds like we've kind of got an accord. Maybe.
Think so. At least everyone's in agreement that things must be done.
Oh, and it sounds like you may be a bit safer with a bigger entourage. And everyone seems to have offered up some people. I'd be willing to gather a larger force if it's going to help you, if you think you need it. I mean, I don't think we're talking a full-out assault, but if there is this growing demonic incursion, then we probably need to keep those off your back so you can do what you need.
That's what I was going to say. I think that perhaps, forgive me, but our
Well,
friend,
what have you done?
our gesture at Dabra, she might not appreciate too many people finding their way to Mental Dareth, but would be good to know we had support if needed of greater numbers.
Dav will be like, yes, I think you will find if you try to send all of them in, you will not find it. My people will get you close, and then a small group can go in. Not a force. Never. Just you and you and you and you and you, maybe. Small force.
Sounds absolutely agreeable.
Can I
Good.
ask a favour then? Can someone get me some throwing axes? Say about 6.
You'll see
Good
Bruno will
ones.
be like, he'll look at one of the servants and nod and just gesture them, and they disappear off out of the hall. They will return probably about 15 minutes later with 6 throwing axes. One of which is a +1 throwing axe.
Yes! I will stand in the corner and teach myself to juggle.
Oh. Seems a bit anticlimactic, but it feels like that's the end of that business. And if we're asking for things, King Bruno, if Sovereign Basidia and we could have a moment of your time.
Why, of course. And he will take you off to one side of the hall where the tables are empty.
It's no secret. It just we've had lots of serious talk, and maybe they want to enjoy their wine for a moment. I thought you would like to meet your neighbour. As we said earlier, we vouch for them. They are a peaceful people. They are in need of some tools to help expand their new dwelling. Would you be able to offer up some pickaxes, maybe a few, not many, weapons so they can defend themselves?
You vouch for them.
Yes. They are
They're
the goodest of people that I...
Right, I've not met many of them. I've seen a few kind of quiet things. If you vouch for them, then I will. But are they going to support in this endeavour?
There's a fair point. Basidia, is there anything that you feel you could offer? They're not a martial people, although it feels enough of that.
There's definitely a sense of confusion from Basidia. He doesn't really understand what he's supposed to offer. There is this, you can kind of get the sense that he is thinking, but you don't know what. It's almost like a confusion. You feel his confusion.
Are there ever things that you would trade with the softers, Basidia?
Yes. Sustenance.
You are excellent gardeners. I have seen that for myself.
And also the he will point at Serdi. The spores.
That feels more contentious. thing.
It's a lot easier to be able to defend yourself if the people who are attacking you aren't quite attacking you.
Oh, those
Ah.
spores. Yeah.
We could send the collectors with you. They collect the fallen and make them useful.
Yep, contentious. You know what? I feel like that is
Your voice is gone. That is...
one of the. Oh no.
You're back.
We can hear you now.
Oh, that is one of the.
Let's do that again.
Nothing.
Every time
Absolutely
you get
nothing.
Key words in your sentence, it just goes. That is one of the.
You know what we really need is a... And then if we get that and do the...
What issues are?
We'll be golden.
Stephen, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Club Fandango. You have to press the button.
Am I back?
Yes.
Lovely.
Please continue.
I was just saying that's an effective way for your people to work and defend themselves. It sounds like we need to proceed with our part of the plan as a inconspicuous small group, but we appreciate the offer.
But
There is one final thing we can offer.
Tell me more.
When we left the grove, you remember,
Hmm.
we travelled through fungus. We could send one with you who can do this.
Ooh.
is it through Aramicus?
Through any.
Ooh. This could be useful.
Very. This would be a very, very, very good use.
And they could take all of us? Or just one?
A small volume.
Small volume.
Once
Say-
per day.
How small is a small volume? And I'll look at Derendil.
10 people.
Oh, that's fine. Yes, please.
I shall make it happen.
Are there more that can travel like that? Just asking for your people as much as our benefit. I was just thinking, if you're neighbours to King Brunor and you hear word or indeed see evidence of a potential threat, if there was a quick way to inform the king like that, that could be one of the ways you could work together.
I am capable of this and one other. in our Everdark is capable of this.
How does that sound, King Bruno?
Boy, sounds good.
Anyone else need anything other than a stiff drink and a nap? Lovely.
Right.
I'm going to passive-aggressively banter that Davra now.
You're gonna what? Sorry, passive aggressively.
Banter with Davra.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you sit next to her. She will pour you a drink from a jug of wine and give you a very long smile as she pours it.
Grim will reach across when she hands it over and just swap it out for a different glass of wine.
Oh, please.
So, what were
I
your...
like you.
Thank you. Maybe speak bluntly.
Oh, well, okay. I think you have bumbled through the Underdark and got away with many things that should have killed you. You're either incredibly stupid, incredibly lucky, or hugely powerful. I don't think it's the last one. But you're here. You speak well. You make a good case. I like you. You would fit in with my people. Initiative. Cunning. Problem solving. You have these things. And you're lucky.
I don't deny all of those things, but you have been very much the hardest person to convince in this room. What would it take, do you think, for us to go up in your estimation to come back from this venture alive?
She will shake a bag of coins.
Oh, I didn't realize the answer was so simple.
Money is power. The power is change. What do you want to change in the world? Tell me. Other than the demon lords, of course. When they are gone, what would you do with this world when you're famous and honored by kings and celebrated in song? What would you change?
You feel very much like the person who has the big picture, the vision. But I wonder how much you're actually involved in implementing that vision, because I would say I have no idea how to answer your question, as I'm living day to day, glad to see that I've survived the last. It is quite hard to look forward to something so far, and at this point, honestly, something which seems so unattainable, seeing the things that we've seen.
So you have no ambition?
Ambition is something for people that are not just surviving.
Ah, I see. And what about your little rock goblin friend?
I want to return to my forest. Part of me will return.
Such lowly, lowly ambition. And don't you see that if you're instrumental in this, you'll be famous. the world would be yours. And if you were to join us, riches, influence. As for me, I don't really make the ambition happen. I just get rid of those that block the way. If you
So
get
you're no,
what I mean.
you're no different to us, really. And yet you judge us so
Oh, I told you I like you.
readily.
I just see great potential in you. Don't waste it. Don't waste it.
Neither of me seeks fame, but I mean, could you use some good captain and the riches and all?
Something to think about when.
Dream big, little Faye. Dream big. And your great old friend, what would you do with your fame and fortune if this succeeds?
Retire again.
So retirement is a... I think it's a dream to stop people quitting. It's not real. In our world, you die or you keep going. Does retirement ever really happen? It could, though. If you're rich and famous, you use your power, your influence. Maybe you could sit on a throne like King Bruno. Could be a king
That
or a lord.
wouldn't be retirement. And I can be my own little king of my own little house and my own little yard. That's all I need. I've seen enough battle, I've seen enough death. I've even seen enough riches. I'm here
Really?
because these are good people and a good cause. And when we've done what we need to do, I'll either be dead or I'll be able to spend my evenings by a nice fire, just doing my hobbies. And I'll be left alone and I'll be grateful for it. And if you think that retirement isn't worthwhile, then you haven't lived.
Well,
And you
not
definitely
yet,
don't
it seems.
deserve it.
You all have such humble dreams.
Coming from the person who just said they don't have dreams themselves, they just
No. Delusions of
I didn't say
grandeur.
I don't have them. I don't make them happen. I clear the blockers.
that's your job, but what are your dreams then?
My dreams are to be rich. Filthy, filthy rich. I'm well on my way.
And do you have nightmares?
No,
No?
no.
Hmm.
Do you?
That may be why you don't appreciate the humble nature of our dream.
I do not understand. No. But,
As my friends have said, perhaps you need to live a little bit more, encounter more nightmares.
I would rather be the nightmare than be haunted by them. Fear is a tool. I think you understand that more than the others here, Captain. Don't you?
Oh, you
Yes.
know all about me. I forgot.
I have my eyes, yes. I even have eyes
you-
on.
Oh,
Where is
you
the
even have
Victor?
eyes.
On Victor.
Ah, interesting.
Hmm.
I'll find him soon enough. Don't need your help with that, but thank you, if that's what you're implying.
No, well, no, I just I make it my business to know about everyone. Can't find much on the Rock Goblin, got to be honest. It didn't seem to exist until very recently.
Oh, we existed. Just not here.
Well, you may have your sources, but isn't it better to hear the truth? Well, right from the primary source.
Of course, of course.
Would you like to see what Victor did?
Please.
Or are you content just hearing about it?
No, I would love to see. Show me.
I will happily unclip fastening my jaw and open up my face so that all the sinew and muscle is exposed. Just beautiful big blue bulging eyes staring out from it as I creepily smile at her. Maybe this will give you nightmares.
Is it a wisdom saving throw?
It is.
It is.
Fuck yeah, she's frightened.
Yeah, she will.
That's-
You will open your face. This porcelain shell will open to reveal the sort of gory muscle beneath. She will be like, her eyes will go wide, and she will just kind of stand and excuse me, I need to, and she will just leave the room.
I did tell you she was intimidating.
She disappears out of the hall.
Finally, we can enjoy this meal in peace.
Who else is nearby?
Hey, I'm not.
The dwarf's fine.
I'm not choosing to look at anyone else. I was being discreet.
I know.
I was just angry with her.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do, or anything you would like to wrap up? Is there any other conversations you want to have?
Went to wonder. Not right now. No, I'm hoping someone's from Society Brilliant shows up.
Mmm.
Ah, yes, yes.
So,
for a large part of the evening, there's not much sign of anyone else. And as the evening is drawing to a close, you kind of Davra leaves in a hurry, and as she exits, she does indeed bump into a cloaked figure, kind of quite tall, very thin and slender, with a hood covering the face. You cannot see who is underneath. And they will enter with 2 dwarven guards either side. And then go over to an empty table and sit down.
I mean, we're a small bunch of people. I assume it's pretty obvious that they've entered. So,
Yeah.
look around the group. Look at King Brunel. Assumedly, that's our Society of Brilliance acquaintance.
I think so.
Do you know their name, Your Majesty?
No. They said they would send an emissary. And that's them.
Well, they seem not to want to fuss, so shall we go over to them?
Yes. Let's go and ask if they can help.
Okay, as you approach, the figure sits in a place at the table where they can see the exit. And they see you approach, and as they look up, although again the hood is in shadow and it is dark in here, you do catch a brief glimpse of like a red glow for the eyes. You see like a weird writhing mass where the mouth should be, but no mouth. But then shadow again. Humans. Fae. You seek me, humans.
Well, you missed the reason that you've all been asked here, but presumably King Bruno gave you some information. We're trying to form an accord to fight the demons in the Underdark, and wondered if your organization could offer any assistance.
What assistance can you offer to me?
We are proposing to put ourselves on the line to rid the Underdark of this threat. That's our offer for the people.
You brilliant. Am I hard to understand?
Are we brilliant?
How are you brilliant?
How are we brilliant?
It's a good question.
That we've had to answer a lot this evening.
We are not, I suppose, but we are here and we have put ourselves on the line before, and somehow we seem to cope. We have what we think is a way to stop this threat, and we want to pursue it, but need help. If you feel that, ridding the Underdark of this marauding band of demons from the abyss is something that will help your organization, then that's what we offer. We simply ask some assistance. Does that not seem fair already?
And what is it that you seek?
We understand that one of your organization came across a certain gem. We think perhaps near the city of Gracklstew. Is this something that sounds familiar? The gem may have formed part of a relic.
The Sun Sword.
The Sun Sword. That is what we would ask of you, and anything else that you're willing to offer.
And in exchange, you will gather knowledge for us?
We do aim to discover how to banish these creatures. I do want to speak for the captain, but with your permission, Captain, if we find out how to do this, the mechanics of doing this, banishing these demons, then I'm sure we'll share that with your organization.
You'll see this very gloved hand. We'll take the glove off and you'll see a kind of purple hand with 3 fingers and 1 thumb. Very spindly and thin. Will reach into a pouch and take out a red gem, which almost seems to have this flame in the center of it, which you can just see gently flickering. And he will place it on the table and then take out a very small book and place that on the table.
I must say I appreciate it. It didn't require an hour of convincing.
Well, it was 10 to 10, so.
What is this book?
This is how you will communicate with us.
Oh! Hey, we can certainly do that. I assume this book speaks to a book that you have?
Yes.
What?
And vice versa.
This sounds useful. Drodin. To speak for Jim now, sorry.
Hello. That's what Jim would say.
Yes.
Hello.
Drodin, you seem best suited for communicating this way with the society. Perhaps you should take the book.
Drodin will take the book. We need information. Knowledge. That is our price.
Anything specific? Like, was what we said good enough, or...?
The head will nod and you'll see this like couple of purple tentacles kind of flick out for a second and then get pulled back into the shadow.
Wonderful.
Then we are in accord.
We are.
We'll take the gem before he takes it away.
Yeah.
I think now it's a case of deciding whether Serdi or Grim gets a shiny new sword.
Well, as you
I
take
feel
the
like
gem,
it'd be sad.
as Serdi picks up the gem, you will hear a voice in your mind. Hello?
Think hello.
Please take me from the dark. It's been dark for so long. I need to burn.
Not quite here. Not quite yet.
I need to burn now. If you do not let me burn, then give me to someone who will.
How do you burn?
You have my heart. Where is my body? Let me burn.
Do we have the sword, Captain?
Yes, 1 minute. Rifle through the bag of holding. Whee!
I'll just see if it fits. See if the hold the gem up to the sword.
As you, how close do you hold it? Is Tom talking?
Yeah, I took my hand off the bloody push the talk button so I could gesticulate like a tit.
As you move the gem close, it's pulled out of your hand and locks into the hilt. And then there is this burst of bright light and flame as it becomes the hilt with no blade becomes a longsword. Bright as the sun. If anyone is sensitive to sunlight, they will find it quite painful. In fact, you probably all will, just because it's dark and suddenly it's very bright in here. I'm aware it's 10:10, so we can leave it there if you like. We can pick it up next time. You can decide who gets what and where. Yeah.
Felt very productive evening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry it was all talking and no slapping.
It's good. Sadie is very excited about finding that sword. He's a demon hunter and he's found a demon hunting sword.
Feels like the right point in time to have it really as well. You're going to need it. If you want to have a think about what you want to do next.
By the sounds of it, mental terror on the backs of lizards.
Yeah, riding lizards. So you can ride on the ceiling, on the walls. I'm guessing the saddles have some kind of seat belt. Or if they don't, you won't ride them for long.
You don't know the thigh strength of our individual characters.
That is true.
I mean, Grym has got some really strong thighs. Like that.
I think
He swings from the knees. It's all in the thighs.
I think I'll be quite a strong wizard. I am rock.
True. I guess it's just Rodin we've got to worry about. Cool. Right. Well, sorry it was all talky, but we'll wrap up there. We'll pick up next week. I will confirm with you what you've got, but I think you've effectively got. So you have, might want to note this down, but I'll send it again anyway. So you have a shield guardian, or you will have. You have 5 human veterans from the Order of the Gauntlet, and a +1 Warhammer. You will have 3 Emerald Enclave Scouts and a giant riding lizard for everyone, for all of you, effectively, including Derendil and the others. You will also have a number of, so you'll have 5 Dwarven Guards from the Lord's Alliance and 3 human spies. And lastly, you will have 8 human Zentarim. We'll just call them Zentarim. But when you meet them, they pretty much just look like thugs, to be honest. As well as a small force of soldiers to go with you. So moving forward, how that will work is you will effectively choose where you want to go, and you'll have, the idea is that you'll have this force which can prevent you from having to fight all the, the trash, and then you can just choose where you want to go and use that force as you see fit, whether that's send them scouting, whether you want them to, there might be multiple things for you to face, and you can say, well, I'll send the veterans to deal with that and we're going to go here, and that kind of thing. So it'll become clear with time, but just have a little think about how you might want to use them.
And one mushroom jumper.
And 1 mushroom jumper. Yeah, you didn't want the collector, did you?
I don't know how you guys fit. It felt more like we would be getting into a whole. No.
I think it's a bit too much to explain. I think if it was just our party going, we'd probably be more than happy with it.
Yeah,
No.
that's true.
But we seem to be into the odd things, but having the other people with us might be a lot to explain when they start getting back up again.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I feel like I'm still a bit rusty, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll remember how to do this Dund game again.
When you get to the climax of a campaign, you start having to make big diplomatic decisions, meetings.
I do.
You know.
I have to say, I respect the fact that you went up into the rafters and just addressed everyone. You were like, "I'm not having this conversation 5 times," which was good. It was clever, and then you used the mushroom to put images in everyone's brains. It's like couldn't really argue with any of that. It was very persuasive. So well done on that front.
I love the scaring Davra.
Yeah, point of inspiration for everyone for that, I think.
What was the name of the Emerald Enclave person? I didn't.
Morista. Yeah, she didn't give a surname, but it's Morista Malkin.
Morista Malkin and Lord Zelron Roaringhorn.
Yeah, Zelron Roaringhorn. Yeah.
And Lord Arabian Horn.
Horned, yeah, with a D on the end.
Davra and the Silver Gauntlet chap was Lord Lanier.
Laniver Strail.
Laniver Strail.
Yeah, he was hard to understand, right? Okay, cool. Right, I'm going to drop us offline. So, bye-bye.
Just trying to write these names.